sneak out for a quick wine tasting middle of the day. Bad idea. Now we're late. The whole marketing team and Dave Thomas waiting for us back at Freefly. Now I gotta drive like this. The neighbors hate us. Disaster. We did it here. Were we late? 11:59.
11:59.
We like being on time at Freefly. Let's go. Live. Come on. Oh, sorry, Ryan. We're going. We're going. Come on, you. We got stuff. I'm good. We're almost late. So we got some stuff to talk about. We got 1.1 Movi Pro firmware. He's like, I don't want to be involved in this part of the Facebook Live at all.
I'm here for Alta. Alta all the time.
You want to go Alta first?
Up to you, whatever.
Let's go Alta first. So Thomas has got this new Alta backpack kit to talk about.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Take it away.
Alta backpack kit comes with a carbon fiber plate so that you can mount this directly to a backpack. Comes with straps to give you a variety of options, and there's slots and everything in the plate. Got some rubber feet, so it gives you a nice stable platform for your Alta. You just attach this to your backpack, clip the Alta in through the toad in the hole system, clamp it down, and you're good to go. The other thing that it comes with is Rainfly, which is sized to fit both Alta 6 and Alta 8. So here it is on an Alta 8. Really good in between shots. If you're waiting on set and it starts raining, you can just throw that on, or while you're actually using the backpack kit, you can put that on your Alta to protect it from dust or rain or weather or anything. It's got a bungee cord so you can cinch it down, and again, this is it on the Alta 8, so sized to fit pretty well and waterproof. Not much more needs to be said about it.
Yeah, one day I did walk by the sink by the espresso machine, and I saw Dave with this contraption running water over it. And I was like, Dave, what are you doing? He's like, this is the new Alta backpack kit. I got to test its waterproof feature.
True story.
Yeah. You want to, let's see. You want to install it? You want to remove this guy? Show people how it comes on and off. It's pretty quick and easy. It's just got a little cinch and goes up and over.
Yep. So that's all there is to it. And then, this can just fold up and then store in this pouch here that has a little zipper. So you can throw this in your Pelican case and just keep it around handy for you.
Yeah, and Dave was talking about, I think we'll probably start including this with Altas in the future once we have them in stock, but we'll throw these up on the web store for some nominal price for existing Alta customers if you want, on-set protection especially if you're working in areas around where we work. It's pretty nice to be able to set this thing on there and walk away and know it's not going to get totally hosed.
Yep. And then I guess one other thing that I just thought of is the plate itself is pretty nice if you wanted to do any special buildup of your Alta, because it gives you a nice wide platform. So if you're installing an FPV system or something, you can just click that on there and it's a little bit more stable than other mounting options. Or if you just wanted to throw that in the back of the car and drive, a very short distance, it should keep your Alta safe while you're driving around.
What about a medium distance, Dave? Would you say that plate could handle a medium distance?
If you attach that to something in the car so that it couldn't flip over, I would say so. But yeah, medium distance,
Got it.
Probably a little out of scope.
Got it. It's important to get your requirements clearly defined at the beginning of any endeavor.
This is true.
All right, let's talk 1.1 on the Movi Pro. Where is the Movi Pro? Right here. Thanks, Mike. So we just released beta firmware, and I wanted to touch on that for just a second. You can get the beta firmware on our website. It doesn't automatically show up in the app. The firmware that shows up in the app is always the stable release of the firmware, but the beta firmware, you actually have to go to our website, download it, and get it there. We do that so that people have the stable release of the firmware available in the app, and if they want to get the beta firmware, because the expectation with beta firmware is that there will be bugs and there will be things that we need to fix. So we kind of want to make people actually actively go out and get that firmware, because there is a risk it's associated with it. We're definitely pushing to release beta firmware quickly, and the cost of that is, you know, we're going to find bugs and they're going to have impact on people. So we want people to know that before they use it. So I thought we'd we have this is a little Sony mount that they make for phones. And we've just rigged it up and drilled a hole in it to mount the Mimic to it. But anyway, when you have that, we did discover that there are multi-role control on the analog inputs, which actually this is unexpected, but this is one of the most precise ways that I've ever been able to control roll. The amount of like fidelity for the user to command a very specific roll rate with these two analog inputs is just awesome. And then you can see, if you click down on this joystick, it allows you to cycle through the different options. So you can have zoom, you can have focus. So right now on that joystick, I've got the ability to control focus. You see I'm focusing on my hand there, focusing far. I could also have iris. So if you want to show this to you, I can iris up and iris down just using the joystick, which is pretty cool. And then you can also toggle through with this button right here, the option button. You can toggle through which command you have on the analog inputs. So I had roll previously, but I could do focus there if I wanted to, if that was more natural. These analog inputs are really fantastic inputs, so that's been super fun. And then you also have the ability to control your pan and tilt speeds on the D-pad, so you can select from 180, 60, 40, 20%. So you can set up the max rate that you'll need for a particular shot, and then that'll allow you to execute it more easily. For those of us who don't have exquisite dexterity like Mr. Hubert Bell. So that's an overview of the PlayStation interface. What I would also say that's pretty fun is you can, if you don't want to mess around with the gamepad, you can also control calibrate. So you can control.
Question for you, Zach.
Yeah, good.
Is the gimbal going to have a ring tilt of any kind?
I don't know. Should it?
We got a couple people commenting about it.
Okay. Yeah, might be a good idea. In the meantime, you can use a trash bag. That's one of the preferred methods on a film set. But yeah, that's a good idea. It would be easy to build something that used like the ring as the kind of structure, like a tent type structure. Just real quickly want to showcase the gestural control of focus and iris with this guy. Is this one set up to do it, Mike, or is the other one set up?
You can try the other Mimic if you just shut that one off.
Okay.
This one's also set up.
It's not popping up for some reason.
What kind of range are we seeing with our current setup?
Which portion of it? The control or wireless or?
I'm going to say the gimbal and Mimic.
The gimbal and Mimic right now are exceeding the wireless control. Okay. But my standard answer to that is at least 600 feet, depending on where you're shooting. You might see up to 1,000, depending on antenna orientation, if you actually have the antenna installed. Things such as that. One issue that people are seeing with this system that I thought I would touch on is this has a very high power transmitter. The Mimic has a very high powered transmitter, and the Movi Pro. And if you get these things too close with the antenna installed, you will swamp the system and you'll get like some jitteriness in the gimbal. So just be aware of that. If you're doing bench setup and you need to have these two things very close, you can remove the antenna, or you can just move this further away. But I just want to touch on this. It's pretty fun. The ability to, like right now I have it on iris, and the ability to use these gestures to control iris. So you can see the scale there, and then whenever I hit the control button, no matter what move I do, whether it's moving in this orientation, that orientation, kind of any way that you could move this thing in a sphere, you can move you can control iris. So if I roll there to the right, you know, I'm opening up, closing down, and then same thing with, we've got focus hooked up on this lens too. So you can see if I go there, it focuses deep. If I come there, it focuses shallow. So it's a really intuitive way to control two focus points. You're just changing the angle of this device. So people have been using this and really having fun so far. We kind of didn't expect the control fidelity of this idea to be good enough to actually use on focus, iris, and zoom, but it's pretty precise. It's kind of blown everybody away. So that's kind of the main points of 1.1 beta release. Again, new hotfix coming today to increase the compatibility with, you know, various different types of DS4 controllers. There's a couple different types. And then you can get that from the website. Apple's going to take, I don't know, 24 hours to approve it, Dennis said, so sometime in the next 24 hours. And then Alta backpack / rainfly kit, when will that be live, Dave? Next 24 hours?
We could say so.
Okay.
Approximately.
We will say so. We're live. Next 24 hours.
Cool.
And then I think Hugh's got a shot designed for us that he's going to show off. Just a fun little move showing using the gamepad and Mimic.
Okay.
We're not ready, Mike. Yep. What's up?
I wasn't sure.
No, you shouldn't have to.
Just setting up for a second. You guys here? Why don't you get things linked up and working properly? Ryan and I'll go take a look at Movi XL for a minute. Sound good?
Always.
We have various generations of Movi XL, from very old to very new. We have Shane whispering Movi XL, making it do what he wants it to do. Let's see. This is the second oldest. Is this one the oldest?
Yep.
Okay. This was like the very first one we showed at NAB, and then this one came, and then this is the kind of pretty close to the final embodiment of what Movi XL will be. It's huge. I mean, just for reference, that's Movi XL compared to a can of LaCroix. It's quite large. We've actually had to kind of think through a lot of different things on this project that we haven't had to think through in the past. Like, this thing's strong enough to actually hurt people, so you have to start thinking about safety and control and, you know, a lot of things that you don't have to think about with the Movi Pro. So, yeah. It's got a GPS on the roll beam. I think we got, like, you want to get in here a little bit, Ryan?
Yeah. It's a little bit bright.
It's got this E-chain to protect all the wiring, this big distribution area. Yeah, oh, another thing on Movi XL, we sent out a newsletter to kind of gauge or get in touch with people that might be interested in Movi XL. So make sure that if you are, you get in on that and let us know so we can start sending you information about it. You guys good?
Yeah, that was the one.
What was the one?
The Mimic was the one.
Mimics.
Took priority.
We're good.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
All right. Camera is rolling and set. And action. Little space. If you're gonna make any moves, tell me, Mike.
I'm just holding here longer.
Okay, you can
When
like
it clips it, I'll start moving.
slowly creep to the right. Yep.
One interesting thing we should talk about after the shot's done is we use wireless phones as comm system. Works pretty nice. So I'll show you Hugh's setup and Mike's setup after we're done. It's very critical for executing complex shots with a Movi operator and a gimbal mover. Mule, as we call them.
You going profile, or are you just hanging there for a bit? Just okay, good. Little space. Just a little.
So you can hear Hugh. He's giving real-time feedback to Mike about space and headroom,
Right.
switching to a profile shot. So this is over where Movi Pros are getting built. This is Ray. Ray repairs almost everything that comes into Freefly, which is nice of him because sometimes our customers do horrific things to them.
All right.
Mr. Bell is not listening to tunes. He's communicating with Mike. He's got live comms going. He's using the iPhone headsets. But I would imagine if he did listen to tunes, it'd be country. You get like a smooth, soothing vibe going. Yeah, we'll talk about phones as comm for a second. This is one of the great discoveries of David Bloomfield and myself back in the day.
Yep. Ready for iris pull?
Mm-hmm.
Iris down.
That's extraordinary, guys.
And shot. And frame.
Extraordinary. We'll need to button that up and send it to Larry McConkey immediately.
No.
Hugh spent about 5 minutes doing shot design on this. So can you pull out phones so I can show everybody
Yes.
what we do? Where's the phone base station? I'll grab it. Okay, cool. I'll take this guy from you. So we at Freefly, if you don't know us, we're cheap and we're resourceful. So rather than buy very expensive multi-$1,000 comm systems, because you have to have full duplex comms. Full duplex means both people can talk at the same time. You don't have to be keying on mics and things like that. We found these Panasonic DECT 6.0 Plus phones, which are awesome, like no latency, full duplex, and then we just wire them up and use them on set. So we'll take the base station and power it with a lithium pack. We got a lithium pack going into a 5-volt regulator. There's lots of different ways you could do this. You could also just do it with straight from a USB battery pack to this receiver or to this base station. Here you go, Mike. But anyway, the cool thing is you power them up and you just go on intercom, and they work, I don't know, 500 feet away. Probably, they're ultra reliable up to like 250 feet, I would say, and then as you get further out, they get less and less so. But the nice thing is they last all day. We run iPhone headsets, which everybody's used to using, which is super nice, good quality. Yeah.
This is clear.
This has been like a hallmark of Hugh and I getting great shots or getting terrible shots. If we have comms, so he can talk to me and tell me where to position the Alta and the kind of shot he's dreaming of and what color scarf he's chosen to wear that day, that kind of thing, then our communication's on point and our shots are great. When we don't have these, it's not so good.
And it lasts 5, 6, 7 hours.
Yeah. It lasts
Like
5,
all
6,
day.
7 hours, and all you got to do when you need a battery change is just AAA batteries, no proprietary stuff. Hugh and I have traveled the world working with these things, and they're critical for our success. Yeah. I don't know. What else is there to touch on? I think that's it. Movi Pro 1.1 firmware release. Alta backpack kit, both available in the next 24 hours. The beta firmware is available now, but we'll have a new fix coming in the next 24 hours to help people that were having problems with the DS4 controller. I think that's about it. We're cranking away on Movi XL. Excited about NAB, get to reconnect with customers. We have a big fun party at NAB, and thanks for stopping by today. Anything to add, Mike?
I can't say that there is.
Mike's what you would call an improvisational type guy, so it's really good to throw the camera to him at a moment's notice.
I'm best utilized behind the camera, so that's why I don't stand here. I go just around.
Say bye-bye, Mike.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.